It's Levack and Goz on 104.5 The Team.
Crazy things shaking down in the world of college football. So as Goz said, we go to Bill Bender. He is the national college football writer for Sporting News. Bill, the top four, did they get it right?
I think so. I mean, I would have, when I was kind of sketching it out, I had Louisville 4, Clemson 3. I thought Michigan might fall to 5, especially after the Wilton Spate news. But, I really don't have a problem with it because Michigan, Ohio State will take care of itself. The real debate at the end of it's going to be who's going to get that 4th spot.
And who's the most likely to jump up to that 4th spot? Are we going to look at a one-loss ACC team? Can Colorado, even with their remaining schedule, pop in there? Who is in the best spot to get into that top 4?
Well, I think, Alabama to me is a borderline lock. Ohio State or Michigan could get in, obviously, and then Clemson. I think that 4th spot really could come down to a discussion where we're talking about a Wisconsin or Penn State if they win the Big Ten versus Louisville versus Washington or Colorado if Colorado wins the Pac-12. And if you think the debates are through about 2 through 6 are hot right now, just wait till we get to that point.
We've talked to quite a few people lately, Bill. Bill Bender of the Sporting News with us right now on 104.5 The Team. And it seems like Louisville's kind of in a rough spot because of Clemson. Like it's going to be almost impossible for them to get up in there. Are you one of those people who thinks Louisville's going to be in trouble and an odd team out?
Well, yeah, it's, and for all the comparisons to TCU and Baylor, which I've made, they're basically Baylor right now, but they lost. I mean, because when that situation went down, 2014, Baylor trailed TCU the whole time. Well, Louisville lost to Clemson on the field, and head-to-head matters. It matters to me. It's going to matter if Clemson wins the ACC. Their best bet is to really pour one on Houston Thursday night while everybody's watching and kind of continue this discussion because, the movement's out there. They're ahead of Clemson in the AP poll. They have the Heisman winner. They have the offense. But I just think they're landlocked by that loss.
And the problem that bothers me about Louisville, I get to see them in person. Lamar Jackson, a fantastic quarterback, may end up winning the Heisman Trophy. But there could be a scenario where Penn State, as a 2-loss team, plays in the Big Ten title game. They win in the Big Ten title game and maybe could work their way into the top 4 over a 1-loss Louisville. Would the committee take a 2-loss Big Ten team over a second 1-loss ACC team?
I think so. And I think the biggest problem that the committee is going to face is if Penn State were to win the Big Ten, I think they would take Penn State and Ohio State. And that would really create some ruffles. But if Wisconsin were to win the Big Ten, I think it would just be Wisconsin. Or if Michigan were to win the Big Ten, it would just be Michigan. Ohio State really is that team right now where the Big Ten picture is cloudy. Everything's cloudy. They're the one team that could make, break, revolutionize the college football playoff, depending on what the committee would decide to do with them.
Bill Bender with us from the Sporting News. You can follow him on Twitter at BillBender92. So, Bill, it's just, obviously we just go Alabama, they're number one. No matter what happens, even a loss to Auburn, they probably still stay number one, correct?
Probably. They're going to go to the SEC championship game, and I don't see them losing. As I wrote today, they realistically have a shot to be the first 15-0 team since 1899. That's the kind of history this team's making. And I think of all the one takeaway I had from last weekend with all those upsets is in this day and age where they're going to play 15 games, it's really hard to go undefeated. And Iowa or Michigan, Washington, Clemson, to me, they basically used their mulligan last weekend.
Maybe I'm being the guy rooting for Cinderella and want those smaller schools to get in, but I see the rankings, and if everything happened with the top 4, the one thing I looked at was Boise State with 1 loss, jumping over an undefeated Western Michigan team. And College Game Day is in Kalamazoo this weekend. Are we going to see the Broncos get in, or maybe the Boise State bias going to put the Broncos possibly into the Cotton Bowl in one of those New Year's 6 games?
Well, I'm a MAC grad, so I'm going to, advocate the Broncos, the Western Michigan guys, even though they're probably going to play my alma mater in the MAC championship game. So, I think Western Michigan should be ranked ahead of them. That's part of the fight of being a group of 5 school. They did beat 2 Big Ten teams. P.J. Fleck's a heck of a coach, and they've got an All-American receiver. If you haven't watched Corey Davis, he's a nice player. So if they go undefeated, they deserve to go to the Cotton Bowl. I think I can leave it at that.
Bill, I'm just sitting here, and I'll preface this. I follow Michigan. I find them extremely entertaining. There's got to be a way that we can just kind of cheat right to the end and put Saban against Harbaugh at the end right now, can't we?
I wrote that back in May. I think that's the one matchup everybody would love to see. It's kind of like in the NFL. Do you want to see anything other than, unless you're a fan, does anybody want to see anything other than Patriots-Cowboys? I mean, the NFL probably wants to see that. It would be the most compelling matchup. Michigan's going to, have to answer a lot of questions this weekend, though, whether it's Wilton Spade or John O'Korn under center. But they certainly, again, even though they lost last week, they still control their own destiny. All they have to do is win the games in front of them. And it could happen down the line. That'd be a lot of fun.
Sporting News is Bill Bender with us right now, 104.5 The Team, Levack Goz. So Les Miles is going to be the big free agent coach everybody's talking about. And, names like Baylor keep popping up. But I want to see him at Purdue. I think that turns the Big Ten into a super conference. Is there any chance of that? Any whatsoever?
If they're willing to pay, I mean, that's going to cost money. It would be awesome. That was the first thing not that, I'm going to give you credit, but when Purdue was kind of reeling there, I was like, please hire Les Miles. It would be awesome.
Promise, Bill, I don't know how to read. I'm not stealing from you.
Okay, yeah. I was like, please hire Les Miles because, all those things you just said. Super conference, Purdue would be fun. It keeps him in college football. It puts him in the Big Ten. So, and right now the Big Ten's feeling it. So, it'd be a lot of fun to see that. He's going to end up somewhere. And if he doesn't, I hope he ends up on TV because he's so much fun.
The Mad Hatter, as long as there's some good grass around somewhere, Les Miles in high definition will be good to see. Last week I thought, there won't be a lot of upsets, not a big weekend in college football, and of course Team 2, 3, and 4 go down. When we look at this weekend coming up in college football, where are some of the best matchups, and if any, possible upsets?
There's a couple good ones. I mean, Washington State, Colorado ought to be a lot of fun. West Virginia, Oklahoma, we haven't really talked about the Big 12, but the conference that benefited the most from last weekend was the Big 12 because we're back to talking about Oklahoma. And I thought West Virginia was ranked a little low on the rankings for being a 9-1 team. So, I mean, those are the two where it really starts. I mean, any major upset, probably not. I mean, I would just I have moderate interest in Michigan State, Ohio State because the Spartans did get back on track last week. They're at home. But, the Buckeyes probably aren't going to lose that game.
Now, Bill Bender with us right now, Sporting News. I was just Twitter stalking you. I see you're from Columbus. Ohio State versus the Browns. Who wins that game?
No, I'm an Ohio boy, yeah. I grew up in Central Ohio. The Browns win. I mean, those hypotheticals are always fun. I think, the Browns, they just need a quarterback. And, my buddies and I have been texting back and forth. That discussion about are they the worst team ever, it's real. And I took my wife to the Cowboys-Browns game a few weeks ago, guys, and she's a Cowboys fan. That stadium, I'm not joking, it was in Cleveland. It was probably 70-30 Cowboys fans.
Wow. That's terrible. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put salt in that wound, Bill. I was just having fun.
No, you're fine. But, the funny part was I don't know how funny it is, but, when the Browns came out, you could hear boos. And I don't know if it was the Browns fans, the Cowboys fans, or both. It was surreal. But I will say this, Dallas is up close and getting to see them up close. They're the real deal, especially with Elliott and Prescott. That's a really good football team.
Make sure you follow Bill on Twitter at BillBender92. And Bill, one of my favorite things throughout this college football season that has happened on your Twitter account is when Angry Bender comes out. Who was behind Angry Bender? Because it gets me every week laughing out loud.
Oh, yeah, we have a great video production team at Sporting News, and I've had a little bit of fun with it, and my wife helps me with the scripts, and it's a total team effort, and I always tell people, I just write and then, say what I have to say, and they make me look a lot better than I actually even close to am. But we've certainly had fun with it, and the response has been great.
Bill Bender of the Sporting News, we appreciate your time, my friend, and thank you so much. And we're probably going to bother you quite a few more times, especially if they keep doing crazy things with the top four.
Let's please do. I appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
Bill, have a great day, man.
Thank you.